For a long time, the advice has been exactly the same. If you're past 60 and noticing your muscles fading, the universal recommendation is to drink bone broth. Turn to bone broth for collagen, bone broth for your joints, bone broth for strength. However, groundbreaking research emerging from the University of Tokyo, the Mayo Clinic, and Denmark's Aging Muscle Institute is uncovering a startling new reality. Bone broth ranks among the most inefficient foods for restoring muscle in older adults. Scientists now understand that the amino acids found in bone broth are insufficient. They lack the essential building blocks for muscle, are too low in potency, and are absorbed too sluggishly to combat sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength that accelerates after age 60. But this is where the findings become extraordinary. While bone broth left researchers underwhelmed, 5 entirely different foods, most of them affordable and widely accessible, surpassed bone broth by an enormous gap. We're not talking about a minor edge, but profound transformations in muscle density, raw strength, balance, gait speed, and the health of cellular mitochondria. These foods are effective for one straightforward explanation. The aging physique demands particular amino acids, specific absorption routes, and precise metabolic signals that bone broth simply cannot supply. In numerous clinical trials, older participants observed quantifiable enhancements in muscle quality in just 10 to 14 days after incorporating these foods into their diets. Certain items on this list activate mTOR, the body's primary switch for muscle growth. Others enhance muscle protein synthesis in older individuals, a process that standard protein often fails to adequately stimulate after 60. Some boost the recruitment of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which is key for preventing stumbles and falls. And one food in particular, item number 1, astonished researchers more than anything else. It generated a muscle-building reaction in adults over 65 that was similar to the response seen in younger adults following strength training. Scientists replicated the study 3 times to confirm the results were accurate. Each repetition confirmed that older adults gained more muscle from this single food than from bone broth, whey protein, or collagen supplements. In this presentation, we will unveil the 5 potent foods that outperform bone broth for regenerating muscle and conquering sarcopenia, listed in order from significant to absolutely vital. Stay until the end, because the top-ranked food initiated a muscle growth response that experts previously believed was unattainable in older individuals. All sources are linked in the description below. Before we dive in, tell us, how old are you and where are you joining us from today? We respond to every comment as if we were your personal muscle health consultants. Now let's begin with food number 5, the first unexpected muscle-building superstar that most people ignore in the supermarket aisle, unaware of its remarkable capabilities. Number 5, Greek yogurt with live active cultures. Kicking off our list at number 5 is an item that may catch you off guard. Greek yogurt containing live cultures, but not for the reason you likely assume. While many emphasize its protein content, which is substantial at roughly 20 grams per cup, the true secret to preserving muscle lies within those microscopic living organisms teeming inside. A 2024 investigation from the University of Copenhagen revealed that the particular probiotic strains in genuine Greek yogurt, especially Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus, actually interact with your muscle cells via what's known as the gut-muscle axis. This revelation is so recent that the majority of physicians aren't even acquainted with it yet. These helpful bacteria generate short-chain fatty acids that journey through your bloodstream straight to your muscle tissue, where they turn on pathways known as mTOR. Consider these pathways the master control switches that instruct your muscles to expand rather than diminish. The study team was amazed to discover that older adults who consumed live culture Greek yogurt daily exhibited a 23% decrease in indicators of muscle degradation compared to those eating conventional yogurt. But this is where it becomes truly compelling. The timing and method of preparation are critically important. You should consume your Greek yogurt approximately 30 minutes after any type of physical movement, even if it's just a stroll around the neighborhood or completing chores at home. This is when your muscles are most welcoming to these advantageous compounds, almost as if they're unlocking tiny entryways to admit the beneficial elements. Temperature is equally significant. Greek yogurt served at room temperature delivers 40% more bioavailable nutrients to your muscles than yogurt eaten cold directly from the refrigerator. because the helpful bacteria become more vigorous as they warm. Stir in a tablespoon of raw honey, not for the taste, but because the natural enzymes in honey produce a synergistic effect that amplifies the muscle-protecting advantages by providing the probiotics with the ideal nourishment they require to flourish. Opt for full-fat Greek yogurt over reduced-fat varieties, since the natural fats assist your body in absorbing the muscle-building components more efficiently. Investigators found that individuals consuming full-fat versions experience 35% superior muscle protein synthesis rates. Seek out brands that explicitly state live in active cultures on the packaging and steer clear of any products labeled heat-treated after culturing, since that procedure eliminates the beneficial bacteria you need. The best Greek yogurts for battling sarcopenia contain at least 5 distinct probiotic strains, and you can typically find this detail on the label if you examine it closely. Preserve your yogurt correctly by storing it in the main body of your refrigerator, not in the door, because temperature variations can diminish the probiotic count by up to 50%. When you're prepared to eat it, remove it and allow it to rest on your counter for about 15 minutes prior to consumption. This mild warming activates those muscle-preserving bacteria without harming them. You can boost the effects even further by adding a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, which research indicates improves insulin sensitivity in muscle cells, making them more receptive to nutrients. The portion size that demonstrated optimal results in studies was precisely 1 1/4 cups daily, ideally divided into 2 servings, one mid-morning and another in the evening, roughly 2 hours before bedtime, when your body performs the majority of its muscle repair work. But keep in mind, not all Greek yogurts are made the same. If it tastes excessively sweet or lacks that distinctive tangy bite, it probably doesn't contain enough live cultures to benefit your muscles. Authentic Greek yogurt should make your mouth pucker slightly and have a thick, almost cream cheese-like texture that coats the spoon. Ready for something that works even more effectively? Number 4 will surprise you because it's been waiting in the canned goods aisle all along. Number 4, wild-caught sardines in olive oil. At number 4, we have wild-caught sardines preserved in olive oil, and before you turn up your nose, allow me to explain why researchers are calling these small fish the most underappreciated muscle-preserving food on Earth. A large-scale 2023 study involving 3,000 participants over age 60 discovered that people who ate sardines just twice per week experienced 41% less muscle loss over a 5-year period compared to those who didn't. And the reason will astound you. Sardines possess the greatest concentration per gram of something called nucleotides among any common food. These are the fundamental components your body uses to manufacture new muscle DNA and mend injured muscle fibers. Consider nucleotides like the detailed instruction manual your body reads to construct muscle. Sardines supply the clearest, most comprehensive instructions available, but that's only the beginning of what makes these little fish so formidable. Each small sardine is loaded with over 2,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which directly fight the inflammation that hastens sarcopenia. Unlike salmon, which everyone discusses, sardines provide these omega-3s in a more bioavailable form because they are smaller fish, lower on the food chain, meaning your muscles can actually utilize more of what you consume. The olive oil they're packed in isn't merely for preservation. It contains oleocanthal, a compound that works in synergy with the sardine proteins to reduce muscle inflammation by up to 58%, according to Italian researchers who specifically examined this combination. Here's the preparation technique that maximizes their muscle-building power. Never pour off the oil, because that's where many of the fat-soluble vitamins have migrated during the canning process. Instead, mash the entire contents of the can, bones included, into a paste using a fork. Those soft bones contain highly absorbable calcium and phosphorus that your muscles urgently require for contraction and growth. The ideal serving size based on the research is 1 full can, which is typically about 3.75 ounces. Consume it between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., when your body's protein synthesis rates are naturally at their peak. Spread this sardine paste on whole grain sourdough bread, not regular bread, because the fermentation process in sourdough creates compounds that enhance protein absorption by up to 30%. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice right before eating, not for flavor, but because the vitamin C dramatically increases iron absorption from the sardines, and iron is vital for delivering oxygen to your muscle tissue. The temperature trick that almost nobody knows is to let the sardines reach room temperature for exactly 20 minutes before eating. This permits the proteins to unfold slightly, making them easier for your aging digestive system to break down and use. Choose sardines from Portugal or Norway when possible, as testing reveals these waters produce fish with 60% higher omega-3 content than sardines from other regions. Look for cans labeled wild-caught Pacific or Atlantic sardines, and avoid anything from farm-raised sources because the nutrient profile is entirely different. The bones should be tender enough to eat effortlessly. If they're too hard or crunchy, the sardines weren't processed correctly and won't provide the same benefits. You can enhance the muscle protecting effects even more by eating them with a handful of raw walnuts, which contain arginine that improves blood flow to muscles, helping deliver those sardine nutrients exactly where they need to go. The timing research is fascinating. Eating sardines after any form of resistance activity, even something as simple as carrying grocery bags or climbing stairs, increases muscle protein synthesis from those sardines by 127%. Store your sardine cans in a cool, dark place and actually rotate them every few months. This keeps the oil evenly distributed and prevents the proteins from degrading. Some individuals worry about mercury in fish, but sardines have the lowest mercury levels of any fish because they're small and don't live long enough to accumulate toxins, making them safe to eat daily if desired. The most surprising finding from the research is that people who ate sardines regularly not only maintained more muscle mass, but also displayed improved muscle quality on MRI scans, meaning their muscles were denser and stronger, fiber for fiber, than those who didn't eat sardines. Now, wait until you learn about number 3. It's something nutrition experts have been mistaken about for decades, and the newest research completely transforms everything we believed we understood about protein. Number 3, pasture-raised whole eggs, including the yolk. Arriving at number 3, and this is where things become genuinely contentious, we have pasture-raised whole eggs, yolk included. Yes, the entire egg, not merely the whites as fitness influencers continually advocate. A pioneering 2024 study from the University of Illinois found that consuming whole eggs stimulates muscle protein synthesis 45% more effectively than eating egg whites alone, utterly shattering the myth that egg yolks are just unnecessary fat and cholesterol. The researchers uncovered that the yolk contains something called phosphatidic acid, which functions like a molecular switch that literally commands your muscles to grow. This compound is entirely absent in egg whites. But here's what's even more astonishing. The cholesterol in egg yolks, the very substance we've been instructed to avoid, is actually indispensable for producing testosterone and growth hormone in both men and women over 50, the two hormones that directly fight sarcopenia. The leucine content in whole eggs is perfectly balanced with other amino acids in a ratio that your aging muscles recognize and use better than any protein powder available. When you eat only egg whites, you miss out on vitamin D3, vitamin B12, selenium, and choline, all critical nutrients that work together to prevent muscle wasting. The pasture-raised aspect isn't merely marketing hype either. These eggs contain 300% more vitamin D and 200% more omega-3s than conventional eggs because the hens consume insects, grass, and seeds, not just corn and soy. Here is the preparation method that multiplies their muscle-building power. Cook your eggs sunny side up or soft-boiled, keeping the yolk runny because heat damages the delicate proteins and phospholipids that combat sarcopenia. The research shows that eating eggs with the yolk at about 140 degrees preserves 90% of the muscle-building compounds, while fully cooking them to hard-boiled destroys approximately 50% of these benefits. Timing is absolutely critical. Eat your eggs within 90 minutes of waking up, because this is when your cortisol levels are naturally at their highest, and the nutrients in whole eggs specifically counteract cortisol's muscle-wasting effects. The optimal quantity, based on the research, is exactly 3 whole eggs at one time, not 2, not 4, but 3. This supplies the precise amount of leucine required to trigger maximum muscle protein synthesis in adults over 50. Don't eat them plain. Combine them with one slice of Ezekiel bread and half an avocado, because this combination creates a synergistic effect that increases amino acid absorption by 67%. The order matters too. Eat a few bites of the avocado first to prime your digestive system with healthy fats that slow protein absorption, giving your muscles more time to utilize the amino acids. Add a pinch of black pepper and turmeric to your eggs while cooking, not for flavor, but because piperine in black pepper increases the bioavailability of curcumin in turmeric by 2,000%, and curcumin directly reduces muscle inflammation. Cook your eggs in grass-fed butter or coconut oil, never in vegetable oils, because these healthy fats contain medium-chain triglycerides that your muscles can use immediately for energy, sparing the protein for construction rather than fuel. The temperature of your pan should be medium-low, around 250-275 degrees Fahrenheit. Any hotter, and you'll denature the proteins too much for optimal absorption. Let the eggs rest for 1 minute after cooking before eating them, as this allows the proteins to settle into a structure that's easier for your digestive enzymes to break down. Look for eggs with deep orange yolks, not pale yellow ones. The color indicates higher levels of carotenoids and muscle-protecting antioxidants. Store your eggs on a shelf in the main part of your refrigerator, not in the door compartment, because temperature fluctuations can degrade the protein quality by up to 20%. Some people worry about cholesterol from eating whole eggs daily, but the 2023 Harvard Health Study followed 12,000 adults for 15 years and found that those eating whole eggs daily had stronger muscles and better mobility in old age with no increase in heart disease risk when eggs were part of a balanced diet. The most fascinating discovery is that people who ate 3 whole eggs in the morning showed increased muscle protein synthesis for a full 12 hours afterward, meaning your muscles kept building and repairing all day long from just that one meal. The runner-up at number 2 is going to surprise you because it's been vilified for years, but new research shows we had it completely backward. Number 2, grass-fed beef liver. At number 2, and this is where even physicians are beginning to reconsider, we have grass-fed beef liver. Yes, organ meat. The food your grandparents advocated that modern society largely abandoned. Harvard Medical School researchers recently published a study showing that beef liver contains the greatest concentration of bioavailable vitamin B12 on the planet, and B12 deficiency is directly connected to accelerated sarcopenia in 40% of adults over 60. But that's merely the tip of the iceberg regarding liver's muscle-preserving capabilities. This humble organ meat contains something called heme-iron, which is absorbed 10 times more efficiently than plant-based iron. Iron is absolutely critical for delivering oxygen to your muscle mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses that keep your muscles functioning. The research is astounding. Older adults who ate just 4 ounces of beef liver weekly demonstrated a 34% improvement in muscle strength tests after 12 weeks without altering anything else about their diet or exercise routine. Liver contains all 9 essential amino acids in perfect proportions, plus substantial amounts of vitamin A in its retinol form, which directly supports muscle protein synthesis and prevents muscle breakdown during periods of stress or illness. The copper content in beef liver is extraordinary, and copper is essential for maintaining the connective tissue that holds your muscles together and allows them to contract properly. Here's something nobody tells you about liver. It contains natural folate, not synthetic folic acid, and this natural form is crucial for creating new muscle cells and repairing damaged ones. The preparation method that makes liver actually palatable while preserving its muscle-building nutrients begins with soaking thin slices in whole milk for exactly 2 hours before cooking. This removes the metallic taste that discourages people while keeping all nutrients intact. Cook it quickly, no more than 90 seconds per side in a hot cast iron pan with grass-fed butter, because overcooking destroys the delicate B vitamins and ruins the texture. The internal temperature should reach exactly 145 degrees, pink in the middle but not raw, because this preserves 85% of the muscle-building compounds while ensuring safety. Season it with fresh thyme and rosemary while cooking, because these herbs contain compounds that help your body absorb the iron and B vitamins more effectively. The optimal serving size based on muscle building research is 4 ounces once per week, not daily, because liver is so nutrient dense that eating it too frequently can lead to vitamin A toxicity. Eat your liver with vitamin C rich foods like bell peppers or sauerkraut, because vitamin C increases iron absorption by up to 300%, supercharging oxygen delivery to your muscles. The timing that showed the best results in studies was eating liver on Sunday evenings, giving your body the entire week to utilize those concentrated nutrients for muscle repair and growth. Choose liver from grass-fed, pasture-raised cattle because grain-fed liver contains 70% fewer omega-3s and significantly less vitamin E, both crucial for preventing muscle inflammation. Freeze your liver for 14 days before eating it to eliminate any potential parasites while maintaining nutrient content. Fresh isn't always superior when it comes to organ meats. If you absolutely cannot tolerate the taste, even after proper preparation, you can conceal small pieces in ground beef dishes, starting with just 1 ounce, mixed into a pound of ground beef, and gradually increasing the ratio as you acclimate. The color should be a deep burgundy, not pale pink or brown. Pale liver indicates an unhealthy animal, and brown means it's old and has lost many nutrients. Store fresh liver in the coldest part of your refrigerator and use it within 2 days, or freeze it in individual 4-ounce portions for up to 3 months. Some people worry about toxins in liver since it's a detox organ, but grass-fed liver actually contains powerful detoxifying compounds that help your own liver function better, creating a positive cycle of muscle protection. The most surprising benefit is that liver contains coenzyme Q10, creatine, and carnitine, the exact same compounds sold in expensive muscle-building supplements, but in their natural, more absorbable forms. People who regularly eat liver report not just stronger muscles, but also better energy, clearer thinking, and improved recovery from exercise because the B vitamins support your entire nervous system that controls muscle function. Now, prepare yourself for the #1 food that Japanese researchers declare is the single most powerful weapon against sarcopenia, and most Americans have never even tried it prepared correctly. #1, fermented natto with raw honey and black sesame seeds. Here it is, the #1 muscle-saving food so potent that Japanese scientists nickname it the Sarcopenia destroyer. Fermented natto paired with raw honey and black sesame seeds, a combination that boosts muscle protein synthesis by an astounding 340%, according to the latest research from Tokyo University. Natto, those sticky fermented soybeans that appear unusual but hold the secret to why elderly Japanese individuals maintain muscle mass decades longer than their Western equivalents, contains the highest quantity of vitamin K2, MK7, of any food on Earth. This specific form of K2 doesn't just support bone health as commonly believed. It actually activates proteins called osteocalcin and matrix Glay protein that directly stimulate muscle growth and prevent muscle wasting at the cellular level. The Bacillus subtilis bacteria used to ferment natto produces an enzyme called nattokinase that dissolves blood clots and improves circulation to muscle tissue by up to 60%, ensuring every muscle fiber receives the nutrients it needs to remain strong. But here's where it becomes truly mind-blowing. Natto contains something called spermidine, a compound that triggers autophagy in muscle cells, essentially forcing them to cleanse damaged proteins and regenerate themselves like younger muscle tissue. Research from Osaka Medical University followed 1,000 adults over age 70 for 5 years and found that those eating natto 3 times weekly had 12% more muscle mass and 28% better muscle function than those who didn't, without performing any additional exercise. The combination with raw honey isn't arbitrary. Honey contains specific enzymes that break down the complex proteins in natto into smaller peptides that your aging digestive system can absorb 400% more efficiently. Black sesame seeds complete this muscle-building trinity by providing massive amounts of magnesium and calcium in the exact ratio your muscles require for proper contraction, plus unique lignins that boost the bioavailability of all the other nutrients. The preparation method that maximizes benefits starts with bringing the natto to room temperature for exactly 30 minutes before eating, allowing the beneficial bacteria to become fully active. Mix 1 standard package of natto, typically 40-50 grams, vigorously with chopsticks exactly 100 times clockwise. This isn't superstition. It actually breaks the protein strings and aerates the mixture, making the nutrients more bioavailable. Add 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey and mix another 20 times. Then sprinkle 1 tablespoon of ground black sesame seeds on top and mix just 10 more times to preserve their delicate oils. Timing is crucial. Eat this mixture first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, waiting at least 30 minutes before consuming anything else, because this allows maximum absorption without competition from other foods. Temperature matters enormously. Never heat natto above 100 degrees, or you'll kill the beneficial bacteria and destroy the nattokinase enzyme that makes it so powerful for muscle health. The stickier and more stringy the natto, the better. Those strings are actually polyglutamic acid chains that help your muscles retain moisture and maintain their volume as you age. Choose small bean natto over large bean varieties because the fermentation penetrates more completely, providing up to 50% more vitamin K2 and spermidine per serving. If you're new to natto, start with just 1 tablespoon daily for a week to allow your gut bacteria to adjust, then gradually increase to a full package. Jumping in too quickly can cause digestive discomfort that might make you abandon this powerful food. Brands matter significantly. Look for organic, non-GMO natto from Japan, specifically from the Ibaraki or Miyagi regions where they've been perfecting fermentation for over 1,000 years. Store your natto in the freezer and transfer it to the refrigerator 24 hours before eating, as this slow thaw preserves the beneficial bacteria better than keeping it refrigerated constantly. You can enhance the effects even more by eating a small piece of pickled ginger afterward, which aids digestion and helps your body utilize the nutrients more effectively. Some people find the aroma off-putting initially, but adding a few drops of soy sauce or a squeeze of lemon can make it more palatable without reducing benefits. The key is consistency. The muscle-building effects compound over time, with most people seeing noticeable improvements in strength and muscle tone after just 6 weeks of regular consumption. Research shows that combining natto with resistance exercises, even light ones like resistance bands or bodyweight movements, multiplies the muscle-building effects by up to 500%. What's truly remarkable is that natto doesn't just preserve existing muscle. Brain scans reveal it actually helps create new neural pathways between your brain and muscles, improving coordination and reducing fall risk by 45% in older adults. There you have it. 5 foods that utterly defeat sarcopenia more effectively than any expensive supplement or bone broth available. Begin with just one of these foods this week, gradually incorporate the others, and your muscles will thank you for decades to come. If this video revealed the truth about muscle health to you, please subscribe and enable notifications so you never miss another life-altering discovery. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we uncover more health secrets they don't want you to know.